Mike with Rags Riches Trading. So I was watching Tasty Trade tonight. It is February 26, 2023. I was watching First Call, and in part of this segment, they talked about the bank stocks. Is there opportunity within banks? And of course, the answer is yes, because implied volatility is extremely high. So you're going to collect a lot of money as an options trader. And then they were talking about also how a lot of things have been really run up. A lot of tech stocks have really run up with the fear in the banks. Everyone's moving into stocks like NVDA and Microsoft, for safety, because the perception is the bank is where the risk is, and you're going to have the safety in some of these tech stocks. So let's just take a look at the KRE, because I thought it'd be interesting to do a video about investor psychology. So everyone talks about, wanting to buy high and sell low. Well, we're obviously getting that opportunity right now. It's a chance to buy the banks low, whether that's selling a put option in something like the KRE, which is a banking ETF, or going long in a stock like NVIDIA. So things feel very dangerous to the banks, but safe in a stock like NVIDIA. But I'm just going to say that probably the safest time to buy a stock is when it's down considerably, as long as there's not other risks out there. So with the KRE, it is an ETF. So essentially what it is an mutual fund that trades like a stock. So you'll see it is made up of 147 stocks, which you can see here, and they're all regional banks. And the top 10 holdings make up 28%. So keep in mind you are weighted to these top banks. So New York Community Bank, it's 4%. Citizens Financial Bank, 3%. So let's say Monday morning or tonight, New York Community Bank blows up. Bam, this fund is instantly down 4%, and there'll probably be a lot of blowback to that. So this fund would probably actually drop by about 10% if something like that happened. So depending on what part of the country you were watching, you might be familiar with some of these banks. Like Citizens is a local bank here. I think there's some M&T locations. But you get the point. So it's all banking stocks within here. And let's just take a look at the chart. And when would be the safest time to buy a regional bank ETF? Well, the safest time in terms of feeling, you would feel safer buying it up here, right? After you had the big COVID crash, you think, oh, things are good again. It would probably feel pretty good to buy the stock up here in the 60s and the 50s, but it doesn't feel good buying it down here with the COVID lows, and it doesn't feel good to buy it now. But that's probably precisely the time to go long in a stock or an ETF like the KRE. Notice I'm staying away from the individual names because I just don't know. I can't analyze the banking sector properly. It's just I'm not an expert within banks. I can understand individual companies, but banking I do not understand completely. So I'll go on the safer side and go long or trade an option within the KRE. On the flip side, we have NVIDIA. So the time to buy NVIDIA or to sell a put option was probably back in October when the market was crashing, when it was down, at 115. But it felt horrible to do it at that point in time. Right now, it feels great. It's doing really well. It's going up every day. But it's probably the time when you want to just kind of pass on it and avoid it. We can look within the last 5 years. It's kind of approaching that all-time high. It happened back in 2021 at $333. So the risk to a stock like NVIDIA is just expectations are so high. And it has had tremendous growth. But with a PE here, forward PE of 59 for 2024 and 44 for 2025, it just has to have tremendous growth. And that growth has to continue for a long time to justify these prices. Could it happen? Yeah. Am I worried about missing everything? Not really, because I think, long term we'll be okay within the KRE as long as we don't have a massive crash. So just keep in mind that all stocks eventually, their PEs have to come down to like that 15, 20 range, when that company matures. And it could still go up and have that PE come down to that kind of range, but it would just have to have tremendous growth to do that, and it's very difficult to achieve that. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about, just investor psychology. So tell me what you think. Is anyone thinking about picking up some shares in the KRE, or are you sticking to kind of big stocks or big tech? Thank you. Bye.